Welcome, guys, to the Cybersecurity Masterclass. This is Abhishek Sharma, your host for this InfosecTrain Cybersecurity Masterclass. Okay, so before starting, let me give you a quick introduction about myself. Okay, so my name is Abhishek Sharma. I am associated with InfosecTrain as a trainer and as a consultant. Okay, so I am in this field for more than 5+ years. Before to that, I was into a network domain, and I started my career as a cybersecurity trainer as well, and I was been doing a VA as well and a pen testing as well. Apart from that, I am doing certain auditing as well. Okay, so here are my certain certification which I have in my bag. Okay, so I have certain list of an CompTIA and of an EC Council as well, A plus, Network plus, Security plus, CYSA plus, CSCU, CND, CH, CSA, CTIA, and one of an ISO 27001 LA. Okay, so if anyone have any question, any query, you can also connect me over LinkedIn as well. I'm sharing a link of my ID over the chat. Okay, so about InfosecTrain, we had established in 2016, and we are one of the finest security and technology training consulting company. Okay, we provide wide range of professional training. Either you call it out for an cyber security, for an IT security. We also provide in consultancy as well. Okay, and we provide your cyber security certification training as well. Okay, here are some of the endorsement which do we have. These are our trusted clients, which do we have. Okay, why InfosecTrain? Over here, we have certified and experienced instructors. Okay, we provide flexible training modules. If you want, your training should be on one side, we provide that as well. If you want, your training should be as per your time zone, we provide that as well. And also, you will be getting your recorded session too. Post-training completion support, we do provide that as well. And if you want any customization in any of the training, we do that as well. We'll be starting with our cybersecurity masterclass. First, let's see what do we have inside this. In this masterclass, first we'll be talking about security. What is security? What is information security? What are the difference in between them? Then down the line, we'll be talking about the CIA, the main triad, or we call it as a pillar of insecurity. Okay, apart from that, we'll be talking about security controls. What are the different categories? What are the controls we can implement inside insecurity as per your guidelines? Okay, down the line, we'll be talking about the phases of ethical hacking, how your ethical hacking has been done, what are the steps to perform an attack or to perform an ethical hacking. Okay, we will be discussing that too. We will be looking into that as well. Down the line, we'll be understanding some of the security assessment, security consult, and your general vulnerability types. Okay, we'll be discussing about password attacks. What are the password attacks? What are different types of a password attack? How that particular attack has been done. Okay, after that, we'll be talking about social engineering attacks. What are the different types of social engineering attack? And we'll be looking into some practical as well over there. I'll be showing you how to perform a social engineering attack as well. Okay, along with that, we'll be talking about discussing about the malware, about a virus, what are the malware, what are the virus, how to create a virus as well. Okay, after that, we'll be understanding some of the authentication control. Then we'll be exploring some of the basic Linux command. I'll be showing you what are the different command we can use. We'll be starting with an basic to an intermediate level. At least you will getting a fair understanding how the Linux has been working on. Okay. And at the last, we'll be talking about web application and your security standard. In web application, again, we'll be talking about what are the web application, what are the different attacks in web application, and we will be performing some of the attacks in web application. Okay. And at the last, we'll be talking about and we'll be discussing about security standards. Okay. So this is the whole agenda of our upcoming, this whole cybersecurity masterclass. What is security? What do you understand by this word security? This is saying that security is the practice to protect system, network, and program from digital attack. Okay, so what we are doing over here, we are protecting our system, our devices, our network that we are connected to. Okay, and the program means that your software or your application that we are using from your digital attack. Correct. So this type of security is known as your cyber security. We are talking about a digital attack. So this security is known as your cyber security. Now, what do you understand or what do you mean by information security? What is the difference between cyber security and information security? Okay. So in information security, we also secure our personal data. But the difference between cyber security and information security is what? If you can see in the definition, okay, from digital attack, correct? So this is the keyword you are protecting from your system, your network, your program from digital program. Okay, now if I'm talking about other types of attack that is not done digitally, okay, so what we are talking about, we are talking about convincing your confidentiality or your confidential data. That is also a type of an attack. So this type of attack is known as your social engineering attack. Correct. So I am not performing any digital attack. Okay. So this comes under your information security. Now we also call it as a cyber security is a part of an information security, or you can say it as it is a subset of an information security. Okay. So this is the difference between information security and cyber security. Okay. Now, what it has been saying that attacks are usually aimed to access, changing, or destroy sensitive data. Right. So now what we are doing or what we are dealing with, we are securing our data from whom? From the attacker. Okay. I am securing my data from the attacker, and why I am doing that? Why that is my agenda? Okay. What the attacker will be doing? He will be simply accessing your data, or either he want to tamper your data, or either he want to collect all your data that may be harmful to your organization, or that may destroy your data as well. Okay, what if the attacker is not able to uh, use your data? He can simply tamper your data as well, correct? Or he can simply manipulate your data too. That is the what agenda of an attacker is. Okay, and what we are aiming to secure everything, not only from an attacker, from other things as well. Not only your digital data, other sensitive information as well. Right? So that is your security is. Now, next thing what we have certain security principle. Okay. So now what the security principle has been telling, what are those? Okay. So this we also call it as a principle, or we also call it as a CIA trade. Yes. We also call it as a CIA trade. And why we call it as a CIA trade? Because this is your three pillar on which your security has been derived. These are the three pillars of your security: confidentiality, integrity, availability. Then we introduce your non-repudiation and authentication. Okay. Now let's discuss what are these things. What are your CA triad are? What is an confidentiality? What is an integrity? And what is an availability? Okay. So first, let's start with confidentiality. So what is confidentiality, guys? Okay. So in confidentiality, what we do, we keep our information or our communication private. Okay. Private and protected from whom? From an unauthorized access. Only the authorized person will be able to access that data. Correct. So why confidentiality is important? What we do? Okay, and what data we are protecting? We are protecting our data like our personal record, our trade secret, health record, so on. Correct. So all this information should be secure and should not be read by anyone. Yes. Okay, so that's what you mean by an confidentiality. Okay, and how we particularly maintain this confidentiality? If we want no one to access my data, so how we do that? We do that by an encryption, by an encrypting a data. Okay, so that is what your confidentiality is. Now when I'm talking about this one encryption over here, okay, so let me give you an example over here. What is an encryption and how that has been done? Okay, so let's say I want to send a message, hello. Okay, so now this particular hello is in plain text, correct? Okay, so in network there will be an attacker as well. He will be sniffing into my data, or he will be sniffing into the traffic. Okay, he can easily read this data which is been flowing inside a network by in plain text. So what we do over here, we encrypt this message. Okay, we change this particular message into an unreadable format like this. Okay, now can this be a readable? Can anyone understand what this thing has been written over here? Will hacker will be able to read this data which is flowing inside a network? No. This is what your encryption is. Okay, we are changing the data into a non-readable format. Okay, so okay, we have changed the data into a non-readable format. This is how you secure the data. Now, what if I encrypt the data thus? Okay, but attacker has been setting into the network. Now he cannot understand what this data has been written, but he can change the data. He can modify the data, right? Or else he can change, or else he can send any URL over here as well to an receiver, right? Or anything can happen away. He can temper the data, or he can change from this to how are you as well. If he cannot read it, he can change it, he can modify it. Okay, so anyone can get into in this trap. So what we have done over here to maintain our integrity, that hacker will not be able to change the data, we started going with your integrity. Okay, so what does an integrity mean? So integrity means what? Integrity means keeping your organization information accurate from your errors, accurate from your any modification. Correct. So what we do to maintain our integrity? What has been used to maintain our integrity? By hashing. By hashing. Okay. So we maintain integrity by hashing. Now, what do you mean by hashing? Your data is being changed into some code. That code will never change. If the data remains same, the code remains same. Okay. Now only the person can check the integrity of the data. How he will be checking? Let's say My data is this hello. Okay, now when I'm sending this particular hello to another user, okay, now how this particular message will be going? First, the message will be encrypted. Now this hello message will be converted into an hash. It will look like this. Okay, so when I'm sending this hello, it will be sent in this format. First, it will be encrypted. Then your hash will be attached to it. Okay, then it will be sent to the receiver. Okay, now what will happen over here? Now once it has been reached to a receiver, what receiver will be doing? Receiver will be decrypting this message. Okay, and now what he will be doing? He will be calculating a hash of this. Okay, after that he will be verifying if the both hashes have been matching or not. Okay, he will calculate the hash and he will verify what he is getting and what he is received. Now why this particular thing has been done? To the receiver calculation and the sender have sent, that means data is not changed. Okay, data is not changed in between. There is no modification of the data. This is how you maintain the integrity. Okay, he will verify his hash, he will verify the hash which he has received, and once it has been matched, that means your data is not changed. There is no tempered in the data. Your integrity has been maintained over here. If the data has been tempered, again this particular message will get reverted over here, and again the message will be sent to this particular user. Okay, so with hash we maintain the integrity. Now next, what is your availability? So data should be available when it is needed. Okay, for an example, Amazon is been hosted in a domain, some server. Okay, now what if that particular server is under attack and you want to purchase something from this website? Okay, so we are trying to open this particular web page in a web browser and we are not able to use this. We are not able to operate it. I want particular thing to be purchased from here. Okay, if this particular web server has been attacked, there will be a downtime, correct? Due to which all the users who are approaching toward this particular website will be moved and will be visiting to other website and will be purchasing their product from different website. Yes, absolutely, there will be a loss of business over here. This will be impacting to your organization as well, correct? So what we will be doing, we will be keeping a backup over here. Okay, we will be deploying one backup server. If my one server has been down, I'm not relying on this particular server. Straight away, all the traffic will be moved into this server and I will be getting a reply back from this particular server. Okay, and this we also call it as a load balancer. Okay, so whatever request has been received to server one, which is under attack or which is not working at present, so all the requests will be moved or will be shifted to our next server, and that server will be replying it back to all the users. This is what I am maintaining my availability over here, right? So what I'm doing, I am simply maintaining my availability. Now, next what we have is your non-repudiation. Okay. So non-repudiation means what? That you make sure that you cannot deny the fact that you have not done that. Yes, accountability. Okay. For example, uh, we have almost 49 participants in this particular class, correct? And let's say some of you have been saying that you had not attended this training. You are not are not attending this particular training. Okay. So you cannot deny this fact. How come? Because along with this, there is a logs has been created. You have registered this particular session. So your email ID, you have entered this particular session with your name and email ID. Okay. You had provided your digital signature. Okay. Right. So what is that? That is your you cannot deny the fact over here that you haven't attended this training. That is what your non-repudiation is. Okay. So in olden days, what we used to do when we are not using an email much, okay, if we want certain leave from an organization, we write an application, correct, and after that we sign in that particular application, and that application will be given to our senior management. They will grant it and they will allow it for an leave. Same goes for the school and colleges as well. Okay, at that time the paper is holding some value, right? And nowadays we are sending all this application through an email, through a digitally signed paste, or through an over an email. There is a particular private key has been attached, so you cannot deny that particular fact that you haven't sent this particular email. Okay, so that is what your non-repudiation is. Now, what do you mean by an authentication? Okay. So now if I want to make sure that this particular website is a secured one and I can rely on this particular website, so what do I have over here? We have an digital certificate. Right. So in authentication is being maintained by your digital certificate. Every website has this particular digital certificate. Okay. So authentication is what? Verifying the person or verifying that particular thing who is claiming to be. Okay. If InfosecTrain has been saying they are an authorized one, they are not a fake one. So how we will be going to check? We are depending on this particular certificate, which has been provided by an certification body. Over here, I can see GoDaddy is a certification body who has provided a certificate to InfosecTrain. Okay, so and how this particular certification has been provided to any website? What InfosecTrain does, or what other organization do generally do, if they want to claim for this particular certificate, okay, so what they will be doing, let's say this is an organization or any particular person who want to purchase for an certificate. So what he will be doing, he will be going towards your registration authority. Okay, so now user will be going to a registration authority with all his information. What? All with all his public key. Along with that, he will be giving his all documents as well. Okay, now this registration authority, what they will be doing, they will be cross verifying all the details, whether this user is an authenticate user or not, whether this particular user is a legitimate user or not. Correct. Now after that, what the registration authority will be doing, they will be forwarding their request to certificate authority. Okay. Now certificate authority, what they will be doing? Registration authority will be saying, I had verified all his details. Everything has been cleared. He is a legitimate user. Now you can provide a certificate to this particular user or this particular domain. Okay. Now what certification authority will be doing? They will be replying back to the user along with an certificate. Now with an certificate, they will also provide an private key. Okay. Now certification authority has provided a certificate along with a private key which is digitally signed. Now after that, what will happen? This certification authority will be telling to an validation authority that I had provided one particular certificate to InfosecTrain. These are the dates, these are the particular number of that particular certificate, valid date, expiry date, everything has been written over there. Now, what validation authority will be doing? They will be maintaining all this record in their database. Okay. All the records are being stored inside their database. Now, same like over here. If I'm talking about the certificate, who are the certification authority over here? GoDaddy. They had provided a certificate to InfosecTrain. Okay, they had verified all the details. They have a registration authority, they have a certification authority, they have a validation authority. Okay, so InfosecTrain, what they have done, they have contacted a GoDaddy, they have asked that we particularly want a certificate, here are all details. Once the detail has been verified, the certificate authority body has provided them a certificate. I can see the validation over here as well, right? Valid from this day to this day. Now, if you see carefully over here, I have 3 certificates, right? My connection is secure. I have purchased a certificate. Now, this is your certificate. This is your second. If my particular certificate, let's say InfosecTrain, forget to update or to renew this particular certificate on 31st October 2013. Okay. Now what will happen? My second certification authority will be taking in charge. Okay. They will be maintaining all this thing. Okay. Now, this is known as your intermediate certification authority. If again this particular intermediate certification authority is been expired on 3rd May 2031, again InfosecTrain forget to update is over here. I have third one. This is known as your leaf certification authority. It has been valid till 31st December 2037. Okay, so this is how I will be maintaining my authentication. If particular organization want to go with an C certificate or they want to go with an one certificate, it's totally depend on them. While purchasing, while claiming for a certificate during that time, they can go with this option. Security factor. Now, what we have inside my security factors: authorization, access control, accountability, and auditing. Now, okay. So in authorization, what we do? Let me give you an example over here. Let's say today is my first day at InfosecTrain. Okay, so after that, what I will be doing, I will be going into an organization over there. My HR team, what they will be doing, they will be certainly providing me certain this ID. Okay, along with that, they will be giving me certain this ID and password for my system as well. Okay, now during that time, they will be giving me certain privileges as well, right? I am certainly this hired as an security intern, let's say. Okay, now I will be having certain limitation in my account, that I can only access certain domain, I can only access certain application, right? So that is been done under your authorization. Yes. I am authorized to which particular account, I am authorized to which particular domain. So when I'm talking about an access control, now what do you mean by this? When you are getting or you are getting an authorization, you are determining what rights and privilege you have or what right and privilege your device has been holding. Yes, deciding on the level of an access, correct. When you are assigning those privileges, you need to update it in your access control list as well, correct. So what your security team will be doing, all the information will be updated inside your access control list, that which privileges, which right that each and every user has been holding in an organization. So we will be writing inside an access control list. It has been mentioned over there that what person and what privileges that person has been holding, what device and which all devices are been holding certain privileges, where we can connect, which particular resource we can use, which particular website we can be used, or which particular website cannot be accessible. So all this done inside your access control. Okay, so now even after your access control, your authorization and your incident may happen, like attack may happen. Okay, now next what we have, okay, next we have is your accountability. Okay, so now in accountability, what does it mean? That it is determining who is responsible for that particular activity. If a particular incident has been happened, okay, let's say you are a developer, you have certain right, you have certain access to use a web server. Okay, during that time, an attacker has been sitting in between and he hijacked your device. Okay, now after what will happen? Let's say your PC is been holding certain privileges, right? With the help of that, the attacker was been inside your system. Now there is an authentication. To use a web server, he requires an ID and password, right? Now he uses your username and he tried to guess a password over there. But attacker is not knowing what the actual password for a web server is. To use a web server, he don't know that particular password. So what he has been doing, he is simply guessing it over here. He is simply trying an alternate password. Let's say first he tried ABC123, then he had gone with 123 ABC, then he had gone with ABC123. Okay, so what he is doing, he is simply guessing it over here, correct? But what is happening in between over here? He is entering the password, but he is entering a wrong password. After a certain period of time, after 3 wrong attempts, straight away someone or the security person is been monitoring over here. Okay, his log will get generated. The person will find out that the developer has entered a password thrice. So what that particular security person will be doing, he will be contacting a developer. What happened? Are you able? Are you about to log in into this web server? Why you are going with a wrong password? Okay, simply he will getting a multiple login attempts. Okay, so what that particular security person has been doing, he is contacting the accountable person over there. Who was an accountable person? The developer. Correct. After few attempts, straight away the security person will block his ID because there are certain malicious thing has been happening at the back end. He cannot have that particular risk. He cannot take that risk. Okay, so that is known as your accountability. Okay, now next we have is your auditing. Okay, so Auditing, we also call it as an accounting as well. So what happens? Someone been saying that monitoring your network. Yes. Now my SOC team is been monitoring my network. They have been tracking. They have been keeping a record to each and every activity. Right. So this process or this particular tracking or this particular recording system activity is known as your auditing. Okay. I am particularly talking about security factor over here. And inside security factor, we have an auditing. Okay. To keep and track, to keep and log out of it. Okay. To ensure that everything has been working or every security policies has been working smoothly or not. So we are keeping a track over there. If you want to check, your system is also keeping a track that what all activities you have been doing through and throughout. So simply what you have to do, you have to search for one particular thing, that is your monitoring report. Go over the search bar inside your system and search for view relatability history. Okay. With that, all the history, whatever application you have been using or any application you are trying to log in or there is any failure inside your application, you will get all the list. Okay. Same way, your system has been auditing, giving an audit over there. They are also giving a track. If you want to see your system audit report, go inside your event viewer. Inside an event viewer, you can simply file an audit report of your system, of an application as well. Let's move to our next part. Now, what my next part has been saying, basic security terminology. Now, anyone have heard previously this terminologies? What is vulnerability, exploit, payload, risk? We'll be discussing this whole thing. These are very much important and very commonly used in a security perspective. Okay. So when we call out this word or when we hear about this vulnerability, vulnerability means what? It is a flaw or we also call it as a weakness inside your application or in system network or in design anywhere that is going to be your vulnerability. Okay. It's a flaw or a weakness. Exploit means what? Taking an advantage of your vulnerability. Attack, though, attack is what? Attack is simply the line of code, okay, which supports your exploit. Attack is different thing. Okay, it's just a line of code which is supporting this exploit. Okay, so exploit is a methodology, okay, that we will be using this code to run our exploit, which is supporting an exploit, which you also call it as a dropping inside your target, that you can start acting or you will be running a script over to your target, particularly it's going to use inside your payload. Yes, that is what an attack is. Exploit is what? Taking an advantage of your vulnerability. Okay. Now, what do you mean by payload? Okay. So payload is what? It supports your exploit again. Did I explain to you about an attack? Right? Same. What we are going to perform an attack, we are using a payload which is been used, which has been helping my exploit. Okay, a line of code that has been helping my exploit. That is your payload is. It's a very simple term. It's a possibility, or you can say a probability that may happen and that cannot. Okay, so if I am investing inside a share market, today I invested 100 USD. So on next day, the share may rise. Possibilities you can say, probability you can say. It may happen or it cannot. Terms and condition. When we have read multiple times over an ad that subject to matter risk. Okay, that is what your risk likely affected. Yes. Now, what do you mean by threat? Threat is what? It is an action that is going to cause or that is going to damage your asset. Correct. In terms of your violation of your security requirement, someone has violated your security requirement. Correct. Or someone has violated your policies, your procedures. Regarding to what? Your internal or your that external data has been breached. Whether it is a malicious or that particular event is been done intentionally or unintentionally. Okay. Not even if that particular event or action that has been causing your asset. Okay. That what is your threat is. Okay. Which is causing or which is damaging your assets. Or which an event or an action that is causing or that is damaging your asset. Yes, virus is a threat. Threat from what? What do you mean by a bot? Command and control by someone. Yes, running in the background, runs their own program to do certain task. Yes. Now, what do you mean by a botnet? Collection of bot is known as your botnet. Okay, so bot is what? There has been a single thing which has been command and control. Let's say uh, there are 50 person in an organization. There are 50 devices in an organization. Okay, so hacker has been sitting over here. Now what attacker has done? He has attacked into this particular first system. Okay, after that he has attacked into another system, to another system, to another system. So now at very first step, he has attacked into one particular system and he is having a command and control to this particular system. Okay, right now this system has been working as a bot for him. Now he is holding and command and control to all the system. So we can say these are his botnets. Collection of bot. Okay. Next, what we have in wiper and cleaner. So now think like an hacker, think like an attacker. Once you are attacked into this organization, so what you will be doing after that? You had all the data, you collected all the information, all the work is been done. At the very last step, what you will be doing? Ransom is another term. Ransom is what you are asking for an ransom over there. But before to that, you want that particular organization should be typing you. They should be knowing you. Okay. If I attacked into your system, after completing my attack, I will be clearing my track. I will be deleting all the logs. I will be wiping all the details. So wiper is an software we can use or a cleaner. Inside and wiper, we generally use this cleaner software to delete all these logs, to delete all the evidence once the attack has been done. Okay, now let's move to our next topic, that is your security control categories. Okay, so now what is my security control categories been saying? At the very top, I have managerial, and midway I have operational, at the very bottom I have an technical. So now what this particular term I've been doing over here. First, we'll be discussing about technical, then we will be moving into an operational, then to a management. So let's say in technical, what we are doing over here, We are giving an logical control. We are giving all the technicality, all the category. We are providing the control. We are implementing the control like your system, like your hardware, like your software, firmware, firewall, antivirus. Okay. So this everything comes under your technical. Okay. Next, what we have is your operational. Okay. So this is a control which has been implemented by the people rather than implementing in the system. Okay. Like your physical security, security guard, training program for the people. Okay. Where the person has been involved. That is what your operational control is. Okay. Then what we have? Then we have an managerial. Okay. Now, what does term mean? Yes,
Uh,
they have been sitting over here. Yes, you can stay, but what they are doing? Okay. These are your security control categories, starting with your technical, then moving to an operational, then to your managerial. So everyone has been working with each other. Types of hacker. You have heard this term many a times. Now, we are going to discuss about this. Yeah, certain list of hackers I had mentioned. Okay. Apart from this, we have many other hackers list as well. Okay. But as of now, we'll be discussing this, and I have few more. I will be discussing with you all. Okay. So we'll be starting with an black hat first. So breaching your secure system. Correct. And they are doing it for what? They are holding certain unintentionally. Correct. And what they are particularly doing for what? They are particularly damaging your. Okay. So when you're thinking like an typically hacker or a cyber attacker, you probably go with this black hat hacker. They are an individual which is causing your major damages individually or to an organization as well by obtaining or by collecting your private and sensitive information. After that, they will be corrupting all those details. They will be corrupting your system, your data, or they will be modifying it. If they cannot uh, steal the data, they will be simply modifying that data. Okay, that what your black hat hacker is. Now, a person or someone with your good intentions, right? They are your cybersecurity professional who deploy their expertise to identify the vulnerability. Correct. So they work with a system, they work with a network. White hat hacker are your authorizer, or you can say they are authorized to attack into the system. And after that, they will be detecting, they will be finding the vulnerability, they will be finding the malicious hack as they can. Yeah. Within the limit, within the law, they go by the book. Yes. Now, next what we have is your gray hat. Now, what are these? Who are these people? They do have a malicious intention as well. Okay, so when I'm talking about a gray hat hacker, they are a mixture of your black hat and a white hat. Okay, let's say I attacked your organization. Okay, I particularly find an vulnerability. Now I am not exposing that vulnerability. I'm coming towards you, and I will be saying that this is the vulnerability which I found inside your website. Now I want a bounty for this, and you simply ignore my message and you pass this vulnerability. Now, what I will be doing, I will be simply exposing this vulnerability open and on an open environment. Previous to that, my intentions were good, but someone has ignored my message. Now my intentions has been changed. Okay, I exposed a vulnerability over an open environment. So gray hat hacker have been working as a white hat hacker as well as a black hat hacker as well. You also call it as a bug bounty. People though, organization though, do certain challenges in between like a bug bounty attacks. Okay, what they do, they simply check the environment, they allow your bug bounty or the gray hat hacker to attack in their environment and try to find out the vulnerability. If they find out the vulnerability, they are going to pay for it. They are getting a particularly bounty for that. Okay, this generally do happen by the gray hat hackers as well. Now, next what we have is your script kiddies, who are holding lack of knowledge. Okay, and they are not very much experienced in an hacker industry. What they do, they just simply Google it some of the code and try to execute that code without knowing any knowledge about that code. They are your script kiddies, the beginners, yes, the learner. Correct. Okay. Then next what we have is your suicidal hacker. Now, what do you mean by a suicidal hacker? So suicidal hacker are those who attack into the network or into the system without knowing any consequences for that particular thing. They simply attack into that organization or into that particular network, and after that they don't think about it. Okay, recently I was been reading a news. There was a person uh in particular, I guess so, in one particular Gulf country. What he was doing, he was simply attacking into multiple banks. Okay, and he is collecting all those money from that particular bank. And after that, what he's done, he had distributed that money to all the poor people. And when he was arrested during that time, he was very much happy. He was literally there was a smile in his face during when he got that, when the particular policeman has been attacked into his premises. Okay, he was not particularly thinking what the conditions are, what the endpoint is, what the end goal will be. He is simply performing an attack for an good purpose at that particular time. There will be not every time the intentions are good. Okay, so those are your suicidal hackers. The next we have is your cyber terrorist. So when we are talking about a cyber terrorist, over here human life is also being included. Not only they are damaging to your nation, over there the human life is also on a line. That is what your cyber terrorism or your cyber terrorist is. Okay. Then next we have is your hacktivist. Yes. Hacktivists are those who are holding certain political agenda. Okay. Recently, not very much recent, in the year 2015, I guess so, there was one big attack has been happened to an Sony organization. Okay. So during that time, the attacker, what they are trying to do, they are trying to enter inside the Sony environment, and it almost took them 8 to 9 months to attack into their environment. Once they attacked the environment, they collected all the data and they exposed all the data. Okay, and during that time, multiple movies also been pre-released by them. Okay, now that particular attack was being funded by one nation. Okay, and they intentionally did this. Okay? They were been holding certain agenda to it. Okay, that hacker are also comes under your hacktivist. Okay, the next what we have is your APT, Advanced Persistent Threat. So how we do that? We are certainly using a malware. Okay, we deploy the malware to maintain our persistence into the system for a longer period of time. We particularly make a backdoor entry inside that particular system. Let's say I attacked into one particular system. Okay, once the attack has been done, now I want next day to come to visit this particular system, and there are certain data has been left which to be downloaded. Okay, so what I will be doing, I will be simply deploying a malware inside the system, which is creating a backdoor entry for me. On the next day, I can again visit into the system and I can collect more evidence, more information out of it. Okay, so what I am doing over here, I am maintaining particular persistence over there. Okay, for a longer period of time. That is what your APT is. Advanced Persistent Threat. Okay, we have one more. Let me give you some more as well. Okay, now we have blue hat hacker as well. Okay, now this blue hat hacker, what they do, they have been organized, or let's say, or you can say organization use this blue hat hacker. And why they do so? To identify or to check what are the potential of the software or the system is, to find out the bug inside that particular system. Okay, we have green hat hacker as well. Now this green hat hacker are you're determined to learn how to conduct cyber attack. The level of their black hat opponent is. Okay, so that has been done by your green hat hacker. Okay, apart from that, we have red hat hacker as well. Okay, now again, this red hat hacker are being conducted by your government agencies. They are being hired by your government agencies. Okay, and why? What they have been doing? They are trying to find out the vulnerability in their security system, or they are trying to find out any flaw inside their system, security system. Okay, so they we can also call them as a government agents who is performing this attack, or who is performing a vulnerability assessment for them. Okay, so that team, what they do, they not only perform the vulnerability assessment and the pen tester, they also perform and capture the flag as well, and they also perform this physical testing as well. Okay, they what they generally do, let's say inside my organization there is a red team. So what the red team will be doing, they will be sending and phishing email to all the employee to check whether all the employees are having certain security knowledge or not, or they are getting into any trap or not. Okay, apart from that, they are also try to get inside your server room as well, physically, not only through your network, through your physically as well. Okay, so they perform multiple types of these challenges through and throughout. Not only they look for in pen testing, they also perform an manual attacks as well to check how your security is, how secure your environment is. Phases of ethical hacking. Okay, if I want to perform a pen test, or if I want to attack into any network or any environment. So these are the steps I will be following on. Okay. First is your information gathering, or we also call it as a footprinting, or we also call it as a reconnaissance. Okay. Once it has been done, I will be moving into step number 2, that is your scanning. Okay. After that, I will be gaining the access of that network, of that system. I will be maintaining the access. And after that, I will be clearing the tracks. Now, let's discuss one by one what the steps are and how to perform this particular step. Okay. Now, think like if you are an attacker. Okay. After that, I have something by the name of an people search engine. Over there, I can simply collect an information of any individual. Apart from that, I can collect an information from an yellow pages. Heard about this? Telephone dictionary. I am pretty much sure that each and everyone has created a profile over a job site and they had uploaded their resume over there. Okay. And what are the chances that you had uploaded your wrong information? Are we going to upload any wrong information over there? No, we don't. And what if I am an attacker, if I am an hacker, I simply create a profile of a recruiter. Can I get an information about you over there? I have your phone number, I have your email address, I have your address as well, and what the past profile here is. I can simply have all the information. Do we ever delete our profile from there? No, we don't. Simply anyone can take an advantage. Have you ever thought like this? No, we don't. We don't take off our resume from there. Once it has been uploaded, it is still there. It's still existing over there. Anyone can take an advantage from there. Okay. So this is how, if I want to collect an information of particularly of a person, of an individual, I will be going by this. Organization do upload their openings over the job site. I can collect an information that which particular tool they have been using, because they also giving an information that we are an opening for VAPT. We are particularly looking for an individual who knows Burp Suite very much well, who knows Wireshark very much well. Correct. Again, I can go through in yellow pages. No worries. I will be showing you that what is a netcraft is. Apart from that, I can simply collect an information from who is. Okay, what that particular website domain is, from where they had purchased the domain. I can simply have an information from there. Apart from that, I can collect an information from a Shodan as well. Okay, I can see where this particular website resolving, their DNS has been resolving. And what is that? That is an NS lookup. Okay, now let me show you one by one. Let me show you how to use a Google in a proper way. Okay, let's assume that I want to search for Abhishek Sharma. Let, let me take my name. Now, over here, can you see the search result? Almost 3.2 crores. Okay, now what I will be doing, I will be using a Google in such a way, I will try to filter out all the result. Okay, and how we will be doing that, let me show you. First, understand how your Google work. Okay, can you see this part over here? Okay, this is known as your URL. Can you see a bold part over here? Okay, this blue part or bold part is known as your title. Okay, and can you see one part over here as well? This part is known as your text. Okay, now what I will be doing, I will be simply filtering out my result. Okay, now how I will be doing that? I will be simply going with a command in title. Okay, so in this black part, wherever the name has been coming Abhishek Sharma, he will be showing me the details from this particular title. Okay, uh, we'll go with the in text because that is in text part first. Okay, let me go for the result. Now, can you see? Previous to that, the search result was 3.2 crores. Right now, it is 2.35. Did my result filter it out? Did I narrow down my result? Let me narrow it down more. Now I want my result from my title. What is the result now? From 2.3 crores to almost 29 lakh. So whatever results have been coming from this particular title, he is giving me the result out of it. Okay. Again, I'm not very much happy with this. I want to filter it out more. So I will be going with an in URL. So wherever this particular name has been coming inside an URL, give me the result of that. Okay. Now, can you see? It has filtered out or it has narrowed down my search area. Okay. This is what you're simply, we call it as a Google docking, or we also call it as a Google hacking. I'm using a Google in a smarter way. Okay. If I want to search any particular PDF, I can go with the same. Simply go with an in PDF, search for it, you will get all the PDF result. Okay, if I want to search any particular thing, I can simply narrow it down from here. Okay, now Let me show you one more thing over here. We have a particular dedicated database for it as well, a Google hacking database. Okay. If you want to search any SQL query, go with this command. If you want to search any particular home page, go with this command. So we have a list of command over here. We can simply use this. Okay. So this is particularly Google hacking database. Inside this database, open source, you can simply go it over here. And if you want to search anything, go with the shortcut. Okay. Now, if you remember, I was been talking about an people search engine as well. Okay. Let me show you some of the people search engine which we can use. Okay. Now this particular Spokio is been used in very certain region. Moreover, it has been used, it has been based out of an US. If you want to search any particular individual from an US, you will get all the information. Okay, let's go with the same example with an John Smith. If I search for John Smith, can you see? It is particularly searching for this particular region of an US, and it will give me a result out of it. Okay, so here are my filtered refined search engine result. If I want to browse as per the location, I can go with that as well. If I want to go with this, so over here I can see the full name, I can see where that particular individual has been living. Okay, I have his address as well, phone number, email. If I click over here, it will give me the result. Again, to unlock the profile, I need to pay, I need to purchase this particular application. Okay, it's not a free version, you need to pay something for it. We have one more people search engine by the name of an people. Okay, again, this is a paid one. You can search for an individual as well, you can search for an organization as well. Okay, now I was been talking about who is as well. Okay, now this who is will be giving me all the domain name, which particular individual I want to search for, which particular this website I want to search for, what is the domain of that particular website is. What I have to do, I have to just need to copy that URL and just need to paste the URL of that particular website, and you will have all the detail. Okay, let's go with InfosecTrain. Okay, so can you see I have all the DNS record from where that particular domain name has been registered, from where that particular domain name has been purchased, expiry date, updated on. Okay, I have certain list of it. Apart from that, I was been talking about a netcraft as well. Okay, now this netcraft will give you certainly more search result. a more detailed information, you can see. Okay. Now I have the site information, I have the domain, I have the particular domain registered as well. Apart from that, I have the IP as well. Apart from that, what do I have? I have geolocation as well. Okay. Now over here, can you see I have the server name as well. Validated period. Certificate details. Can you see? History of your web servers. So this particular netcraft is been giving you more detailed information. Okay. We have Shodan as well. Okay. Inside this, if I want to search for any exposed camera as well, I can see that too. Here I have all the list of it. I can see these are my exposed camera over an internet. Simply hover it, simply go inside it, you will have all the details. What is the IP address, where this particular camera is been located. I have each and every detail of it. Whatever I want, I can search inside this. Clear till now? Okay. Now, once I have all the information of my target, then I will be moving into the next step. That is an scanning. Okay. Now, scanning is been done in 3 steps. Step number 1, I will check whether my host is live or not. How I will be checking my host is live or not? Yes, by an ping. I simply go with an ping command, and if I'm getting a reply back, that means my host is live. Okay. Once it has been done, I will move to step number 2, that is find an open port. I have the IP address. I check that particular IP address is live. It's up and running. After that, I will be using certain tools, certain command that is of an nmap. I will be using certain network mapper and try to check what are the open port inside this particular IP. I can use an nmap, or I can go with an predefined tool that is your Nessus. Okay, we will be seeing this thing down the line when we were been talking about this, particularly of a Linux-based command. During that time, I'll be showing you how to use this particular command. What is an nmap? How this particular nmap has been working. Okay, now once that has been done, once I have all the port details, I will be moving to step number 3. In step number 3, I will be checking what all services are been running inside this. Again, I will be using an nmap or an Nessus. Now, once my scanning has been done, I will be going with an more detailed scan. Okay, so particularly with a scan, I will be only having certain information. If I want particularly more detailed information, so what I will be doing, I will be going with an enumeration now. Okay, it is going to give me more detailed information about my target. Okay, with the help of an enumeration, I will try to gather more and more detailed information. I will try to interact with that particular machine. Okay, previous to that, I was not interacting with the machine. I am just trying to collect an information. Now I will be interacting with the machine. I will try to check what are the particular vulnerabilities are there inside that particular port, inside that particular machine. Okay, so once it has been done, I will be moving into next step, that is your gaining the access. I have the information of my target. I have an IP, I have an port as well open. I have the list of an vulnerability as well. Now I will try to use this vulnerability and I will try to exploit this vulnerability to get inside that particular system. Okay, I will be using my tricks. I will be using the technique to get inside this particular machine. Okay, once it has been done, I will try to maintain an access inside that particular system. Okay, I will deploying a payload. I will try to search for a payload. Once I have the payload, I will try to maintain an access inside that machine because I want to gather all the data. I want to download all the data. I need my persistence inside that system. Okay, and at the last, what I will be doing, I will be removing all my tracks. Okay, once it has been exploited, at the end, I will be deleting all the logs, all the cache that no one can trace me out. Okay, so these are the certain phases of hacking. First, I will be collecting an information. Once it has been done, I will be moving into an scanning. I will try to collect detailed information of that particular network, of that particular system. Okay, once it has been done, I will go with an enumeration part to interact with that particular system or to that particular network. I will try to collect more detailed information of an port, of an vulnerability. Once it has been done, I will be exploiting that vulnerability inside this. Okay, once it has been exploited, I will try to maintain my particular persistence inside that system. Once it has been done, I have collected all the data. I have all the information. I will be removing my tracks. I will be deleting all the logs. Okay, so these are the steps followed by your hacker as well, followed by your ethical hacker as well. If you are working into a red team, if you are working into a vulnerability assessment team, pen testing team, you are following this step. Okay. Before to that, let me also give you about what is an pen test and what is an vulnerability assessment. Okay, difference between both the term. Now, when we are talking about an pen test, or vulnerability assessment, okay, now pen test is been done in 5 steps and vulnerability has been done in 3 steps. Okay, in vulnerability assessment, what we are doing, we are performing a footprinting. Okay, we have an information when it has been done. After that, we will be moving into an scanning. We have an information, detailed information. After that, we will try to interact with that particular system or with that particular network. For that, we will be doing an enumeration. Okay, this is what the work has been done by your vulnerability assessment team. Now, pen tester, what they are doing, they are performing all the 5 steps. Okay, they will be performing a footprinting and a scanning. They will try to bypass your security control. They will try to bypass your firewall. They will attack it. They will actively test your security control. Try to check what are the weak passwords. Try to penetrate inside your network, inside your system. Okay, and for this, we also have an rules of engagement. Okay, for pen testing, there are certain rules specifically that how that particular pen test has been done. Let's say an organization want me to perform a pen test. Okay, so what they will be doing? They will be first permitting the scope. Okay, that you need to perform a pen test into this particular website or into this particular system. Okay, you need to perform a web application pen test, or you need to perform a network pen test, something that will be given, or something that not to be touched. Okay, so after that, what they will be doing, they will be also providing me an IPs as well if they want to perform a white box pen testing. Okay, they will be providing me IP, they will be providing me the details of information of that machine, of that particular, or of that particular website. Okay, and after that, they will be going with an attack profile, that what kind of pen testing you need to perform. Either you need to perform a black box, white box, or gray box. Okay, they will be asking for particular IP as well, because certainly there is many noise has been created by performing a pen test. Okay, and what particular time they need to perform this particular pen test, again that has been given. Okay, and now this whole rules are being created by your white team. Okay, particularly what pen test they want to do, what in which particular how particular pen test they want to perform, and they are keeping a monitoring over there, they are keeping a track over there on the pen tester. Okay, now we have one more thing, that is your life cycle of pen testing. Okay, so in life cycle of pen testing, what we have persistence, we have privilege escalation, okay. Now in persistence, what we are going to do, that we are trying to check is there any backdoor entry present inside that particular system or not, so that you can connect with that system anytime when you want. Okay, now when we are talking about the privilege escalation, so in privilege escalation, what we generally do, let's say an attacker attacked into your system and you are working in an organization as an into a junior team, junior security analyst. Okay, and here is your admin team, here is your accounts team. Let's say these are the three profiles. One is your one system of your junior security analyst, one system is of your account team, and one system of your admin team. Now this particular admin team will be having all the rights, all the privileges. Okay, or we can say all the root privileges. Okay. Now attacker, what he has done, he has bypassed and he had granted a control of this particular system of your junior security person. Now, certainly he will be having less privileges, right? Because this junior intern or this particular junior security particular person will be having limited access of data, limited access of any particular network, right? Now, what the attacker will be doing, his main agenda will be to have an root access. So he can do anything with that particular network on that particular organization. Now he will try to attack from this machine to this machine. Okay. Once it has been done, this is known as your horizontal privilege escalation from a normal user to a normal user. Okay. And after that, he will try to attack into this root user. From a normal user to root user, this is known as your vertical privilege escalation. Okay. User is granting an access from a normal user to normal user is known as your horizontal, and from a normal user to an admin user or to a root user is known as your vertical privilege escalation. Okay. These are certainly the life cycle of an pen test. Okay. So when we are talking about this attacking surface is what? It is a point where attacker or where an hacker will try to exploit the vulnerability. Okay, so you will find or you will try to find out what kind of attack is. Okay, in nowadays we are all are wearing some IoT devices, smartwatches. Now there is a network as well from which that particular application has been connected. What if that attacker try to attack to your Bluetooth? He exploit your Bluetooth with that inside your device, or else he exploited, or else he tried to attack into your smartwatch. With that smartwatch, he can easily have an access to your mobile phone through an application. Yes, we get to a direct entry point as well, but think like of an attacker. You are an hacker. Okay. Now, what I'm doing over here, what that particular attacker trying to do over here, he not only trying to have an access to your device, to your watch. From that watch, he is trying to have an access to the application as well. Okay, not only
Okay.
that application, he is trying to collect an information of your device as well. Now, what that particular individual attacker has been having? He is having your information as well, and from that information or from that particular thing, he attacked into the application of certain organization which is been providing an application to this watch. And from that entry point, he is trying to attack into their organization as well. Now, what he has done, he has simply created a chain. With one point, he collected information at least of an three individual. You have multiple attack patterns over here. You have major attacking surface over here. I can simply go with a direct attack. I can simply get inside your mobile phone. But my agenda is not very much limited beyond that particular scope. Now the attack surface is very much large over here. Now the data is also on a high risk, your phone is also on a high risk, and that application is also on high risk. And that is also a good practice not to share anything to, or not to grant any access for any particular application. There should be unlimited access to any application. Yes, it is not necessary to get inside an application. That particular attacker can attack, or that particular attacker can aim one particular user as well. We can simply reverse that particular application as well, that particular credential as well through the reverse engineering. Okay, we can collect an IP as well. but particularly in an Apple devices, we cannot do that. But majorly in Android devices, we can simply go through it. We can do a reverse engineering and we can collect the information, all the encrypted information. But for an app user, particularly an iOS user or for an iOS application, it's tough till now. It is not present. The reverse engineering is not yet present as of now. A right way is only till the usage turn on the Bluetooth. Otherwise, don't use that particular app, that particular Bluetooth until unless it is not in use. Because any attacker can attack through an Bluetooth as well. You can simply send an file. Back in old days, when we were been using some Nokia phones, during that time, if you want to share anything, we simply turn on our Bluetooth. Okay, and many a time I had also faced this thing that I am traveling in particular bus or in particular train. If someone sees that one particular device has been on, he simply try to send multiple files to that particular Bluetooth, to that particular Bluetooth. By any chance, if I click OK, straight away, some malicious file will get deployed into my mobile phone and simply he can have a backdoor access. So let's call it for the day, guys. Okay, let's catch up tomorrow. Let's try to learn some new things. Thank you everyone for joining. Have a great night. Have a great day. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you.